Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there. Hold on now. I'm just a simple sailor. I never wanted to get mixed up in any of this. All right, I'll take you. But we leave immediately. Well, here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions. Mirak, I'm not sure that I do. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here, and we've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second counselor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Raven Rock started out as an Imperial settlement, but the Empire decided to abandon it just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles, but when House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home. Your ignorance of our homeland doesn't surprise me. It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from there. Quite a while ago, yes. They cut a bloody swath across most of the southern region of Morrowind. Nobody seems certain why it happened. An attempted expansion? Revenge for the enslavement of their people? Or perhaps both? Whatever the case may be, thousands of Dunmen needlessly lost their lives, and many more were exiled from their homeland.
Captain Gallen does the business.
I'm starting to wonder what happened.
I'm just a ship's name.
We were delayed by bad weather.
If you need a ride back to the mainland, Gallen's the only way off this rock.
Before you even ask, yes, have the supply
don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting.
They have forgotten.
May I ask what it is you're doing here? Mirak. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite
Here do we
place...
toil,
Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense.
that we might
Mirak's been
remember.
dead for thousands of years. I'm not sure, but it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there. Building something, clearly, and yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish.
Far from ourselves.
Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out. When the city of Vivek was destroyed, it took decades for us to rebuild. We are still but a shadow of our glorious past, but someday we will rise again. There is the big island of Ardenfell and the coastal mainland. House Telvanni has its properties on Vardenfell. I've never been to the mainland myself. It is the only place where silt striders can... Although I managed to transplant a few here when I... You are too young to remember the Nerevarine. He defeated Degathur and saved us all from the Blight.
Now through
I
that.
wonder if a dragon could be
speak.
captured alive. It would make a fascinating...
And when the world shall listen.
Are we done? I thought so.
And when...
That seems inadvisable. Oh, fascinating. Ah, so you are able to resist the effect by exerting your will. Fascinating. I would not advise touching the stone again. The effects of repeated contact could be... Unless, of course, you'd like to contribute to my investigation, which could be...
Here do we toil. That we might remember.
By night we reclaim what by day was stolen.
If you're looking for the East Empire Company, they've been gone for over 100 years. Try Windhelm. Excuse me, but the temple is for followers of our faith alone.
Mirak. It sounds very familiar.
Not someone here, but...
I'm not sure I can recall.
I can't be sure. I know I've heard that name, but it doesn't feel real.
Does that make any sense?
Non-believers are never welcome here.
There's nothing beyond the bulwark, except wild Nords and ash wastes. Squatting isn't tolerated in the abandoned buildings. If you need a place to stay, head to the...
wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive. I wish I could have said the same for my man here. Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them Ashspawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped. I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction. Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind, and I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard. We were searching the farm when the Ashspawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful. No one knows, really. Superstitious folks say they're the risen forms of those that died long ago, but I'm not so certain. They started attacking the bulwark a few weeks ago. My men were able to kill them, but they keep coming back. We've had 2 other assaults on the bulwark, at different spots on the wall. I know it sounds crazy, but it's almost like they're becoming more organized and probing it for weaknesses. Exactly. Something has to be directing them against us, and we need to find out who or what it is. I might know someone, or maybe not. I can't. I just can't be sure. I think maybe... I don't. All I know is that the Ashspawn are coming from this direction, so this is as good a place to start as anywhere else. Good thing the farm's been abandoned for a long time. I'd hate to see what they would do to an unarmed farmer and his family. Not sure. I was told it was an old Imperial farm that was wiped out by the eruption of the Red Mountain. Not certain who lived there. It was already a pile of rubble when I arrived in Raven Rock. Report back to me if you discover anything unusual.
Over here! You hear something?
Cleared out, I guess. Headed east? May want to give Tel Mithrin a wide berth. I don't like the looks of that place.
Last... This may be the frontier, but we've still got rules. Break them.
You haven't seen Cresius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. No, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill pickaxe. I'm talking about an ancient Nordic pickaxe. They don't exactly grow on trees, you know. I prefer to handle these things on my own. Look, if you see Cretius, tell him to give me that pickaxe back, and I'll pay you for the trouble. Well, well, it's been a long time since someone from the guilds bothered to make their way out here. So tell me, how's my brother Delvin? Still spending his nights at the Ragged Flagon trying to win Vex's heart? Good to hear. Tam Layabout never even bothers to send his own flesh and blood a letter saying how he's doing. Can you imagine? Anyway, I suppose you're looking for work. Well, I got bad news. This place is drier than a damn bone. Eager to make some coin? I'll tell you what. The guild's got a problem out here that I've been trying to deal with for years, but haven't been able to handle. Don't look at me like that. I'm all alone out here. And besides, it's really my problem anyway. A fellow Breton who went by the name Esmond Tyne showed up on my doorstep about it. He noticed the shadow marks like you did, and I thought he was one of us. That he did, right out from under. It's my own formula for improved. Well, before I told I'd bet a fat purse of coin that he's either you do that, and I'll make sure you're set up right. No, wait. I'm not sure. A fine question, and the one that I hear most often from. I wish I had a more romantic. Besides, no one I had a friend over there, a dark elf named Van. Spent a lot of time. After he moved on to greener pastures, I decided to pack up. It's the only tool tough enough to crack Stalrim, is what it is. Not many of those beauties left in the world. Forging them is a lost art. The one Cretius borrowed came from the Skull village up north. I, traded them some goods for it. Calling Stalrim an ore is like calling my forge a campfire. Some folks say it's enchanted ice, but I think there's more to it than that. I don't think I've come across more than a chunk or two in my lifetime, and smithing's my trade. If you're looking to learn more, you should head over to the Skull village. Someone there's bound to know more about it than I do. The finest weapons and armor. You tell Cretius he better give that pickaxe back to me, or... else.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Damn it, woman. I said to leave me be.
Cretius, last time you explored the mine, you almost fell to your death. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a widow.
And who in the blazes are you? Can't you see? Why should I tell you? I don't even know who you are. Maybe. Been difficult trusting people lately. They think I'm crazy. But mark my words, these mines hold a secret that could put Raven Rock back on the map. A secret the East Empire Company swept under the rug. It killed my great-grandfather, and Gratian Kyrelius. The East Empire Company. I found an unsent letter. The East Empire Company must have... It is. Well, I assume it is. I haven't been able to find the entrance. Fine. I'm telling you, there's something... Look! My wife nags that time's my enemy. I do. Gretchen kept... Here's everything I have. The letter, the key. Please, do this for me. The damn fool doesn't even deserve to have it. The pickaxe was made for mining, not selling. I'll bet he stole it from the Skald in the first place. Oh, very well. Here. Tell him I hope he drops the thing on his foot. Be careful down there. The mine can be treacherous.
Find my pickaxe. So, you finally tracked down old Crash. Tell you what, since you went through all the trouble of finding it for me and all, I just wanted to remind that codger you can't just go around taking things from other people. Now that you've delivered the... Besides, that pickaxe hasn't done me any good in years. Maybe you can put it to good use.
I'll give you this warning only once. Stay out of my way, and we'll do just fine.
I work for Mogul. You got a
Looking
problem?
for any
you
potions?
talk to him.
Ingredients? Alchemical supplies? Remember, I have plenty of potions and
Oh,
ingredients.
hello.
if you're ever
You looking
in
for a handout or something?
Well, my
Yes.
wife and I are doing the best we can to keep Raven Rock fed. Got the best merchandise on the island. Have a look for yourself. Next time you're hungry, stop by.
Miserable.
I always
Just
have plenty of
miserable.
Food for sale.
Oh, I hate this place.
I'd be on the first
Keep
ship
yourself
off this
safe.
island if I had the coin.
Solstheim's still
What a
dangerous
waste.
place.
Mining here? No. It's an they gave them... They're no longer being made, so they could be any... If you find any while you're exploring Solstheim, bring them here, and I'll pay you for them. Bad? What if I told you that you're the first person that's even considered looking at my wares today? I've half a mind to contact my friends... Oh, you know, the lady who runs... Bah. Mark my words. The East... Everything I've got on display, really. The East Empire pendants are scattered all over.
This island's nothing but a pile of... Don't like it. I hate it. Every day it's... What kind of a life is that? Oh, believe me, I'd be on the first ship off this miserable island if I could. But I'm not sure I could do that to my father. I think it would break his heart. We've already lost my mother. I don't want to leave him alone. We lived in a settlement, perhaps a league from the border of Black Marsh, the homeland of the Argonians. Even though the Argonian invasion ended a long time ago, there are still a few scale-skinned clans that live within our borders. To put it simply, they attacked our settlement and slaughtered almost everyone. It was horrible. Keep yourself safe. Solstheim's still a dangerous place.
Welcome to Raven Rock, traveler. Could I interest you in any fine ash-grown foods? The Dunmer have been growing food in the ashlands for thousands of years. It was born out of the necessity, and now with the constant eruptions of the Red Mountain. No, this simply takes the right ingredients, the right tools,
I'll
and
give
a
you
lot
this
of
warning only
patience.
once. Stay out of my
Mogul
way,
doesn't lend
and we'll
coins
do just
to
fine.
outlanders.
Oh, hello.
Look somewhere else.
You looking for a handout or something?
My husband, Bendel. Marak. I'm sure I've
If you
heard
ask,
that name
that's
before.
not someone who lives in Raven
Haven't
Rock. I don't think.
Was it in a dream?
Maybe. I can't help but
May
think
your
of
path
some
be
sort of
free
temple
from
on the
danger.
island. Why
Looking
would
for
that
any
be?
potion?
Next
I
time.
don't think so. I hear that name, and I see a temple here on Solstheim. What could that mean?
You looking for... Haven't you got something better to do?
Forever in the market.
Try the lower sections of the mine. Look, but I may sound like a crazy old man to you, but she thinks that I realize she cares about. Then I'll settle. I've been waiting. I just hope both of you don't miss. I recognize the name. It's so strange. I feel like it's from a dream.
Why you're leading
Something
Cretius?
about the
That
Earthstone
foolish old man thinks
and
he's
the
30.
shrine.
He's convinced. We came
it.
across some old.
That's all I
Cretius.
can think of.
There's really nothing remarkable in the letters. Gracious. He was an poor man. There was a. They were never even. Cretius is convinced. My beloved is. I love him dearly, and I support. I think it's difficult. Something about it does. To understand. Cretius. By the time Cretius came of age, our home. Instead, a decade ago, this drove him in. It was. I was I stayed for a while and cared for him. Far from it. In fact, in all honesty, I'd prefer not to get into the details. But poor Cretius. As the years have passed, it's got. I'm sure. My greatest fear is that my stubborn mule
Be
of a
careful down
husband
there.
will end up suffering
Mine
the
can
same
be
fate.
treacherous.
Be careful out there.
I know you, champion. The Agma in Flame was only the beginning. This is Apocrypha, where all knowledge is hoarded. Sated with thirst for knowledge in the endless stacks of my library. If you tire of the search, read your book again to return to your mortal life. For a time, the lure of Apocrypha will call you back. It is yours.